about the three brains. Okay. So, I'm here in nature. My my computer melted down. So we are doing this on the phone, and we're just going to go with it. So, I wanted to talk to you about something that happened to me this weekend. I had a brain transformation workshop that I was doing on Saturday. And on Friday, I got really super emotional and couldn't understand why I was so emotional. And, my heart hurt, my gut clenched up, and I couldn't figure it out. And then I was talking to my mom when I was sitting on the beach, and she said, you know, tomorrow is Ellie's birthday. And Ellie was my granddaughter who would have been 5 on Saturday. And my heart and my gut knew something that my brain didn't know. So my heart brain and my gut brain knew the time of things, but my head brain hadn't caught up with that. And a lot of times in life, that is what happens. Sometimes we'll have our gut tell us things or our heart tell us things before our brain catches up. And we need to listen to those things because there is more communication that happens between our heart to our brain than our brain to our heart. We have 90% more communication going up our vagus nerve. It connects. There's all this data going back and forth, and our heart is trying to tell our brain things all the time, and our gut communicates with those as well. And they all three work together. And when they're in alignment, we're in our base resonant frequency. When we're able to listen, tune in, be in tune, like if you have a piano, you need to get it tuned. If it's out of tune, everybody's heard a piano that's out of tune and it doesn't sound well. And it doesn't operate very well or function very well. The same is true with our body and our brains. If our brains are out of tune and out of alignment, then our body is not going to actually function properly. Our gut won't be able to process our food the way that it needs to. It will not be able to actually create the serotonin that it produces. And the serotonin is super important. That's what helps us to feel good. It helps us to not be depressed. People who are depressed generally take chemically synthesized serotonin, something that chemically synthesizes serotonin in their body so that their body can actually have enough so that they feel better. And our gut actually produces a lot of serotonin. So what ends up happening is if our gut microbiome is not healthy, then our body is not able to actually produce the serotonin, which then makes our brain feel like we're sad, and our emotions, our heart feel like we're sad, and then we end up with depression. So it's all interconnected. It's very important for us to actually know how to take care of our three brains and how to keep them in alignment. Our gut, we need to be giving it a good microbiome, and we can do that in a variety of ways. We need to be eating fermented foods. We need to be eating a lot of fiber. We need to not be eating a lot of processed foods, a lot of antibiotics or chemicals, pesticides, herbicides. Those can all affect the gut microbiome. And amazingly enough, another thing that actually affects our gut microbiome and our brain and our heart and our whole biochemistry of our body and brains is the media and the people we surround ourselves with. And so it's very important in life that we are aware of what we are putting in our body, not just food-wise, but also media-wise, and with the people that we surround ourselves with the energy that we're taking in from other people, from other things and other places. So our heart actually sends 90% more signals to our head. It actually creates, I think it's called ANP. It is a hormone that actually, and a diuretic that actually regulates our blood pressure and also is a diuretic for our body, a natural one. I did not know until I was doing the research for this that our heart actually produces hormones. So that was interesting. So our head brain, our heart brain, and our gut brain all produce hormones to help our body actually stay in homeostasis and help our body be in alignment. Let's see, what else? Um, so I don't know if anybody here has heard of string theory before, but let's talk a little bit about when we are conceived. We're conceived, we have four primordial cells. Okay, so the four cells that are physical and one energetic cell. And when they come together, there's a spark. And depending on what your practice is, some people believe that is the soul. Okay. But we have an energetic body that is surrounding our physical body. This is scientific. They have actually found that the heart has an electromagnetic field, and you can feel it or they can measure its wavelength 5 or 6 feet from the body. And because of that, there's this thing called string theory, okay? And everything has energy, okay? And everything is interconnected. The strings kind of make and form our body, and that's how our matter is made. But the strings also carry different signals to our body that we are not necessarily physically aware of, but our gut brain and our heart brain are aware of. So if we are able to listen when our gut feels a little clenched or our heart just feels like something's off, then we're actually able to prevent illness. We're able to stay healthier. We're able to stay happier. We're able to prevent um, having some different mistakes or things in our lives that we would have otherwise if we're in tune and we're in alignment with our base resonant frequency. The base resonant frequency is like a signature fingerprint that each of us have. It's kind of like the tune of our piano or the tune of our body. And when we are in tune in our base resonant frequency, which it's our own one that we have, then our head brain, our heart brain, and our gut brain are in alignment. And we're able to actually move through life happier, healthier, with more things happening for us, with everything just kind of clicking together and being in alignment with, lights turning green, with people and relationships thriving, with businesses thriving, because we're actually in tune, and we're in tune with ourselves. We're also able to listen to those strings, or that string that is telling us things out here in the field, right? Before they actually get to our body. So when we are actually able to listen and we're actually able to pay attention, because it starts with a whisper. It starts with a whisper. And it's way out here. It's way far out. Okay. And it starts to whisper at us, and it starts to say, hey, this doesn't go along with your internal compass. This isn't going to be good for you. But if we don't listen to it, then it gets louder and louder and louder and louder and louder until it screams at us, and it's in our body. And then it manifests itself in that C word, or it manifests itself in a sore back or a sore hip or an ear infection or whatever it is. But if we can listen to it when it's way out here and it's starting to whisper to us, then we're able to actually circumvent and take care of it at that point in time, rather than when it comes to us physically. So I know back in Egyptian times, whenever they would do surgery on somebody, they actually would have the surgeons there, but they would also have an energetic surgeon for the energetic body in order to help the surgery process, because it was the whole body. It was not just the physical body that they were taking care of, but also the energetic body that we live in and that we are a part of. So anyway, that is what I have for you today, just out of my memory banks. Um, if you have any questions, I am open to taking questions and answering whatever I can. I apologize for the glitch in technology and not having my slides. I know I had more to share with you, but at this moment in time, this is what you get. So anyway, if anybody has any questions, if you want to unmute yourselves and ask, that would be awesome.
Joy, that was amazing.
Thank
That
you.
really, 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 truly was amazing. So I'm going to stop recording, but that was so cool. Oh, before we stop, would you share about patches and how they help integrate patch
Yes,
information
yes,
with what
yes,
you
yes,
just were
yes.
saying?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so what patches do is they actually help stabilize the energy field of the body. Okay, so they actually help it so that it's not all chaotic with uh, how do I explain this? With chaotic things going different directions. It helps us to calm. It helps to calm our bodies. It helps to calm our nervous system, helps gets us out of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, and puts us back into our rest and digest, so that we're able to actually repair, so that we're able to actually hear those whispers better, so that we're able to actually get the directions, because the patches are like a set of directions or a blueprint, I like to say. And it tells the body what it's forgotten how to do. And when those directions come to you and you put them on your body, you're the contractor. Okay, so you're the builder. And as the builder, you're required to get the materials that are needed to build the project, your body. Okay. So in order to build what the patches directions say, we need to have enough water, good water. We need to have bioavailable vitamins and minerals in our body, because those are the building blocks that our body needs to create the cells. So when we put those building blocks in our body, and we have the patch on our body as the directions to help our body remember what it's supposed to do and how it was created and how it's made to do things, then that signal tells our body, okay, you put this cell with this cell, or this material with this material in this order, and then it goes together. And me creates a new, beautiful, perfectly made cell. So it's super important for us to actually have, as the contractor, the building materials in our bodies. It's super important that we put the patches on so that we have the directions, because otherwise our body forgets how to do different things. We've had so many different environmental pollutants. We've had so many different things from the outside that have been put into our body, that they did a study on newborns, and they found over 200 toxins in brand new babies that were just born. And we also carry 14 generations. They're finding in the study of epigenetics in science, the epigenetics, they're finding that we carry 14 generations of trauma in our bodies. Okay. So we have so many different things from so many different places that are in our bodies, that our bodies forget the directions, the correct directions. And what these patches do is, one, they reset a third of our genes to a younger, healthier state. So they reset a third of those genes. Okay. So then those genes are better and they know what to do. And then they help us actually to have the directions to create new healthy cells. Every 28 days, we get a new intestine, we get a new gut. Every 28 days, we are continually having cells die off and go away continually. And our cells in our intestines actually replace themselves the fastest. And so every 28 days, whatever we put in our bodies in that 28 days, that's the intestines that we get. So super important to wear the patches so the body has really good directions of what to do and how to do it. Super important to have have good water, because our body is made up of over 70% water. And we need water for cell creation, and we need water for movement. That is the number one thing that people can do for their health, is drink enough water. And we need to have bioavailable vitamins and minerals. In June, this is June, later on this month, we're supposed to have Celergize come out from LifeWave, and that will actually be the vitamins and minerals for daytime patches and nighttime patches. So I'm super excited for that, because it's going to be very specific to what our body needs to have when we use these patches, instead of just going and getting other bioavailable vitamins different places. David Schmidt has figured out, because he designed the patches, he knows how the body works, which chemicals or which vitamins and minerals that our body needs in the morning for the daytime patches and at night for the nighttime patches. X39 is amazing as far as overall health and wellness. It can the pluripotent stem cells that the GHK copper peptide creates and brings back to out of hibernation. Can become any type of cell in the body. So those four primordial cells that we were when we first were incepted were pluripotent stem cells that could become any type of cells in the body. They could become an arm, they could become a nose, they could become a tongue, they could become a heart, whatever. And pluripotent stem cells can become any type of thing in the body. Eon helps with inflammation. It helps to just calm our body. It helps like when somebody is having problems with high pumping, I cannot say the words, but high pumping in their body, then I tell them to put an Eon right here, because it just calms the brain, calms the body. And somebody who's having anxiety, patch right here. It's fantastic for that. Eon just like calms people just right down. Um, and helps us actually be more in tune with our cells, helps us listen more to ourselves, to our three brains, and helps them to go into alignment easier. Alavita, another fantastic patch. It actually helps decalcify your pineal gland here. And so then we're able to have better cognitive thinking. We're better able to process things. It helps lengthen our telomeres, which are the length of our telomeres. Okay, every time a cell is created, a little tiny slice of telomere is cut off. Okay, every time that cell's duplicated, it's like cutting off a little slice of the blueprint, right? And our health is directly correlated to the length of our telomeres. Okay, our health and longevity is directly correlated to the length of our telomeres. Alavita actually helps our telomeres grow. It is the only thing I know that helps our telomeres grow. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing thing. So it also helps with joint lubrication. It helps with skin, helps you look so young. It takes away wrinkles, and just does an amazing job with hormones and overall health and wellness. So all of the patches help in different ways for us to get into our base resonant frequency and for us to be in alignment and in tune, because glutathione helps take out toxins out of the body. The more toxins we have in our body, the harder it is for our body to be in tune, right? Because there's all of that stuff in the middle of everything, and we're not able to be in alignment. We're not able to actually listen as well, because we have all these toxins corrupting our neural pathways and the communication systems. So, and our functionality. So, yeah, the patches all actually help to calm our bodies, to help our bodies work the way that they're intended, to help us get closer to being in our base resonant frequency. So, yep. Does anybody have any questions? Let's see here. Oh, I have an echo. Do I still have an echo?
You've been good for a while,
See.
Joy.
Okay, good,
Great.
good.
So
I use DoTerra, pre and probiotics. They have a pre-probiotic. It's PB Assist Plus for probiotics, and I also use their bioavailable vitamins currently because they're built on purity and quality, and um, so I trust them. And then also they make sure that they're the way that they source um, and the way that they actually happen are able to be processed in our bodies um, is, our body is able to absorb them because a lot of vitamins that we buy, they're bound and our body can't break it apart and actually absorb them. So we just put them in, take them out, put them in, take them out, and they don't actually get absorbed in our body. So yeah, so doTERRA actually has some great, they have a lifelong vitality pack, and they also have the PB Assist Plus pre-probiotic. It's like all in one, looks like a little alien pill actually, because it's two compartments. There's the probiotic and the prebiotic in there together, but it's like separated. Anyway, um, so yeah, so I like those. And I trust them.
so
Trust them
I
to be
was
pure
at
and clean.
a chiropractic philosophy forum last night, and that was the subject of the speaker talked about rebuilding her gut.
Hmm.
And so that's what she was talking about. So that was very, very, very helpful. And I love the
Yeah,
doTERRA also, but
yeah,
what she was talking about was um yeah, shredding of the her system. She was very, very, very sick. So
yeah,
um
yeah. I actually am doing some experiments right now for myself. I do not have gut problems. I do not have. I am very healthy, but I recommend things to other people, and so in order to recommend them to other people, I actually try them myself. So I did my first 3-day water fast, and then I went from that into a raw vegan with juicing diet. So I've been doing that for a couple weeks now, where it's like super loading your body with freshly squeezed juices so that your body can have all of this nutrients to reset. And a lot of people with the C word find healing and help with that. But also,
fantastic.
a lot of people with autoimmune things can have their body reset if they do what I'm doing. So,
That's fantastic.
anyway, I'm just trying it out, seeing how it is, and seeing how my body reacts because I like to know. I'm scientific that way and technical. So,
Well, cool. Thank you
anyway,
so much. Does anybody else have any other questions? That was how long can you wear a glutathione patch? Do you take a break after 5 to 7 days?
so I would say that is very dependent on the person.
Mhm.
Okay. When people first start out wearing patches, I recommend that they start out with the X39 and the Eon. Sometimes the Alavita added in, sometimes Ice Wave, depending on what is happening with their body. Um, but I highly recommend that people just start out with those two to begin with because of the detoxing effects and because of potential Hertzheimer's. And what ends up happening with the glutathione is it ups your glutathione level by 300% over 24 hours, which is amazing. Amazing, 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 because it's a major detoxifier and it binds onto toxins and helps pull them out of the body. However, if you have a lot of toxins in your body, our body stores toxins in fat. And when that fat releases those toxins and they're loose in the body, if the kidneys and the liver can't keep up and they're bouncing around in the body, they can make you feel sick and not well. So if your body is detoxing too fast, then you will get potentially Hertzheimer's. And so I highly recommend that people start out with the X39 and the Eon, then slowly go into glutathione or other patches. Glutathione, you can work up to wearing it every day. David Schmidt has talked about wearing it every day. He's also talked about people wearing it every other day. I don't wear it every day, although I have gone through phases of wearing it every day when I've done like the gut regeneration system previously. And that's 18 days of wearing the glutathione. It just really depends on what's happening with a person, and you can wear it for a few hours. And if you start to feel effects and you're drinking enough water, if you're well enough hydrated, then take it off and put it back on later. But it can be
So
worn up to 12 hours on, 12 hours off to 7 days, according to David Schmidt.
Cynthia also asked, with that said, a person with cancer should be careful, question mark. And that's regarding the glutathione.
Okay, I am not a medical provider.
Right.
I
None of us
cannot give
are,
medical advice.
but
If
here's
I
the
had
deal.
cancer, if I had cancer, I would use the glutathione. Okay, so let's just
Yes.
clarify this, okay? I would use all the patches. I would do alternative medicine. However, if I was choosing to use chemo, okay, I would not use the glutathione, the X39 on the day of my chemo treatments. I would definitely use them on the off days of my chemo treatments. Okay. Because what's going to end up happening if you use them on the same day as your chemo treatment is that, and this is totally up to the person, right? It's totally up to the person. Um, if it was, what ends up happening is the chemo treatment is suppressing the immune system and the patches are raising the immune system. So they're working counterproductively. But however, you want to use them the next day because then you're pulling those toxins out of your body that are killing the healthy cells as well as the cancer cells. And you want to get those out of your body so that they can stop killing the healthy cells. That answer the question? That's if I had cancer. But I would do, yeah.
Use the glutathione also if you suspect that you have something, or if you have received a
Yes.
diagnosis of that and you
I
haven't been like, you're not engaged in chemo at the moment, just slap
right.
the patch
It's
on. It's been
only
known
with
to
chemo.
help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only with chemo that I would
And
worry about using it.
and
Otherwise,
then
I would wear the
yeah,
heck out of them, hoping that it just tells your cells how to repair themselves and, make sure that as the contractor, you're putting really good stuff into your body so that you can build really healthy cells, and those cells that are not so healthy are expelled from the body in the way that they need to be expelled.
yes. I should stop recording because we're being bad. I'm gonna pause this and then so thanks you guys for
I thought
joining.
you had
We
stopped
have more
recording,
questions. I
Tammy.
know.